Hey, good morning, everybody. If you have attended one of my chipping clinics, then you've no doubt heard me refer to what I call the scratch move. And the scratch move is demonstrated by whom? By the scratch player, someone who's near a zero handicap. And where that term found its origin actually was that we used to teach a lot of corporate outings. I'm talking about in California, myself and my boss Barry and David. We would teach these groups, and there might be 20 of them, and they all work for the same corporation, and then they were putting together this team building project, a chipping clinic or a full swing clinic, but we would always start with chipping because we wanted to find out early on how good of a player each person was so that we could divide them into 2 or 3 groups and work with them individually like that. And so our job was to find out who the scratch player was first off, and it was always easy to see because the scratch player had the scratch move, and when I tell this story, people go, okay, I'm tired of the story, Bobby. I want to know what the scratch move is and how I can adopt it. And so let's get into it. The scratch move, that move that I know signifies that this individual is a player, has 2 parts to it. Number 1, the club head end finishes, I'm talking about the finish position, lower than the grip end. In other words, the better player always will have the club head much lower than the hands at the finish position. And so how does that look in real time? Something like that. That is the position of the better, oh, it happened to go in. That is the position of the better player at finish. You'll never see a first-rate player whose club head goes higher than the hands. Part 2, and this is just as important, this can only be seen down the line, is that, again, as I say, the club may travel low to the ground, but not only that, the grip end turns around the body so that it's obscured at the finish position. In other words, if you're looking down the line at a scratch player, you can't see their grip anymore because it goes around their body. However, you can see the club head. And so while the grip goes around the body, the club itself moves down the target line and looks something like this. That one did not go in. And so, again, let me say it, the scratch move, the indication that you're a good player, something that an experienced teacher would look and say, you know, we've got a player on our hand, has 2 parts to it. Number 1, the club head stays lower than the hands at the finish position. You can tell right away that person's probably a good player. Number 2 is observed down the line. If this club head can still be seen, yet the handle is around the body, then you know someone has sawed off that finish in such a way as to suggest they're probably a very capable player. And I'd like you to work on that yourself. And if you're not doing that, if you're one of these people whose club and handle go down the target line, which is the sin of so many players, then you now know what the scratch move is, and you can make it your own. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.